Hey, it's Rene from Accuser, and you're listening to the Dan Jan Show on Hard Rock Hell Radio.
Hey, Rene, how are you going, my friend?
I'm pretty good, as far as the situation allows it to be pretty good. But I think I'm healthy. I've got a healthy family, so I'm fine.
That's the main thing. So how was last year for you personally regarding the pandemic? I know Germany's had its highs and lows, hasn't it?
Yes, we had. There's very strange times, especially that I'm the owner of a little music shop here in our hometown, and it's went very bad for me. And for the band as well. I'm pretty new to Accuser right now. Again, I've been in the band, then I've had a break for about 10 years, and now I'm back in the band. And we had no chance to do anything except recording this record. We did one show in 2019, and that's everything I've done with the band except the recording of the album.
Yes. So I'm going to tell you. So you guys have just released your 12th studio album, the self-titled Accuser, back in November. To me, it's a monster. Yes. It's a great album. Are you pleased how well it's been received?
Very good reactions, and I'm happy with all the things that are happening, and everything, the cover and the style. I think for me, it's like a dream come true. This is for me for 10 years the first record I've done. Everything worked perfect. It was the songwriting process, the recordings, the attitude, the things in the band was back like it was in the band when I was in the band 10 years or 12 years ago. Yeah. I think the whole feeling was back, and it's very great, and it seems that a lot of people like the record.
I've seen some great reviews, and the new album, it's so solid, it's melodic, and it's aggressive, which is a great combination. How do you guys go about writing and recording? Is it a collaborative effort?
Thing is that when I came back in the band, most of the songwriting process was done by Frank and the other guys, and I had a few influences towards the melodic stuff, because the thing is that I'm very great Wishbone Ash fan, and I love the early Iron Maiden stuff, and for me that contrast between melody leads and melodies in the songs makes the following parts even heavier. So and I think that was not a plan. It was just like we sat together. We had the lead parts, and Frank said, "Okay, on this part we should do a lead, or we can do a lead. Do we have any ideas?" And I just started playing, and it's the most time it fits for the first time. So I think the combination between aggression and speed and heaviness and melodies and twin leads, I think I like that a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you've amalgamated a lot of old school Accuser with modern sounds. Was this intentional? And is it difficult to get the contrast right and still stick to the traditional thrash methods?
There was no difficulty. I think Accuser is a band who is around for, I think right now 35 years or something. Yeah. So I think it is definitely not difficult to sound traditional, because Accuser is a traditional band in the past. It was not like we have planned to sound like Accuser sounded in the 80s. Yeah. But this time is all into all of us, in our minds, and it was a great time for all of us to write music and play during the 80s, and so we still have kind of that feeling in us, and so it was not planned. There were a few songs which go a little bit back in the 80s, but I think there's also a lot of stuff which is representing Accuser in our days, and I think there are a few things, two songs on the record which show a little bit of what Accuser could be like in the future. Yes.
So how did the band form? Because you've been going, as you say, since nearly the start of the thrash scene. What started it for you guys? You were a part of the German first wave of speed metal, along with the likes of Creator, Destruction, and Sodom. What was the original scene like?
I think for me it was like when we formed the band, we were not really a part of that scene, because I think it's in my opinion we've been not a band who was in the scene like with bands like Creator or Sodom, I think, because these guys were what is typically the Teutonic thrash, the German thrash, and that was not our intention. We had always, when we started, our favorite bands were traditional, like Maiden, and if it's come to the thrash point, it was more the Bay Area scene, like Testament and Forbidden and stuff, than it was the German thrash scene. So I think we sounded always a little different than the German scene, and that was not planned. Frank and me, we are friends for about like 45 years or something. It's a very, very long friendship with Frank, and we always listened to that kind of music. We went crazy when we heard the Metallica Ride the Lightning album and stuff, and that was our thing. And then we. He had the band, that former named Breaker, and he was a guitar player in the band. And they were searching for a new guitar player, and they asked me if I would join the second guitar place, and I did. And then with Accuser was born. Yeah. But Frank and me, we always had a very strong relationship towards our musical background, the kind we play guitar. So it worked.
So you were at the band for 10, 11 years. Was it?
Yes.
And so what was it like to return? How did it happen?
Yeah, that was a strange thing, because when I left the band, when I was out in the band 11 or 12 years ago, that was not a very, very good situation for all of us, because we had a lot of fighting and arguing and stuff. So there's very, very bad times at that point when I left the band, and we hadn't any contact for the first 3 or 4 years or something. Yeah. So, but I always, Accuser always been a big part of my life, and it was very, very bad and sad for me to leave the band, and we hadn't any contact, and I think there was a part during that time where we really not were friends anymore. But I always hoped and I thought perhaps sometimes it could be that I will be back in Accuser, and that would be a great time. But it was not planned. And after that 4 or 5 years where we hadn't any contact, a friend called me, not just to play in the band, but just to keep the friendship alive again. And since that point we had more and more contact, and we had more and more parties, drinking beer together and stuff, and the friendship grew up again. They had the new guitar player, which was Dennis, a very great guitar player. But at one day, that was a festival in 2019. That was that festival that I played, because Dennis hadn't any time, or I think something like that. Mm-hmm. And they asked me if I would like to join the band for that show, and I was like, yes, definitely, I will do it. And then we played the show, and we came off the stage, and the reaction was, hey man, that old feeling is back. So please, if you would like to, just come back in the band and stay. And it was like, yes, it happened. So yes.
So during that 10, 11 years, did you do anything else in the music industry, or were you just running your shop?
I always made music, but not that professional way Accuser did. I had my own band. I tried to build it up, which was called Dead Sun Halo, which was a thrash band as well, but a little bit more melodic. But that doesn't work very good. It was a low level band. It was very difficult at these times to start a band and get big. So it was always a lower level. And after 4 or 5 years, we split up again because there was no future for the band. Yeah. And then I had a thing that was pretty good for me, because I was about 5 or 6 years in a Motorhead tribute band, and that was fun. Really,
that's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, as a kick-ass guitarist that you are you always thinking about riffs? Do you wake up in the night thinking about riffs? Are they going through your head all the time?
No, I think that's definitely just involved during the songwriting process. I have some ideas, because I definitely play guitar every day after work or something. I just sit on the sofa watching TV, and I grab the guitar and play. And sometimes there are some moments where that was great. So I try to remember it, but the most time I forgot the riff when I had it in mind. So, and sometimes I record them at my little home studio, and I keep these in mind, but it's not like that I just living all day long with riffs in my head.
Yeah, but when the shop's quiet, you must pick up the guitars and be riffing away. Surely, just tell me that at least.
definitely. Sometimes it's if you're in the shop and you have guitars in your hand and you're just playing just to the customers, just to show them the guitars and stuff. Sometimes it's really like that. I'm a little bit fed up with playing guitars at the evening, but I definitely grab the guitar and I sit on the sofa and play just for fun, not to write songs or something, just for fun.
That's cool.
And sometimes there will be there come some cool ideas. So
yeah. So are you metal through and through? I mean, what's your influences? Do you have any guilty pleasures?
I'm not metal through and through. I think all of us are not. Perhaps except our drummer, perhaps a little bit more than. But I think our influence. I think it's because of our ages. Frank and me. Frank's birthday was it was in December last year. He's 45 right now. I'm 54. That's it. 54, wow. And I'm 52. Yeah. So sorry for that. So I think that's because of our roots. When I grew up, my father was, as I mentioned, a very, very great Wishbone Ash fan. So we had always Beatles at home. We had always Wishbone Ash at home. We had Eric Clapton. We had all the blues classics stuff. Right. And that's the things that I grew up with. I still have this in mind. I love metal, but not through and through. It's like Often I said when we are cooking or just sitting for dinner, we just listen to Beatles or just listen to all that avant-garde stuff like the late talk. For example, I love that kind of music very, very much. I still listen to some metal stuff, especially the last Accuser record was very great for me. Yes, and just a few records and a few bands, not the whole day long, and not only metal.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, do you guys have any plans for this year's tours, festivals? Did you have any cancelled last year?
Yes, we had cancelled a lot. We were very, very, very happy that we had offered, I think, three or four festivals after the lockdown in Germany. But at that time, when we should play these festivals, the situation got worse in Germany and shut down all the festivals and stuff. They were all cancelled. Yeah. I think that we will have the same situation a very long time here in Germany. I don't think that there will be any festivals. Perhaps in the summer, some smaller gigs or something. Yeah. I really think that this year will be no bigger festivals in Germany. I think around the world it will be all the same. Yeah. We have some offers for festivals, and they are planning these festivals. But let's see if they will happen. I'm not sure.
So what tracks from the new album are you looking forward to playing live most?
That's difficult. I think. For me, it's Temple of All, because
that's a great track. Yes.
Yeah, I like that very much because of that very dark and heavy feeling. Because we have played that with down-tuned guitars. It was all originally it was written for a 7-string guitar, but live we did that live stream last year in December, and we played that track too. And we have Kemper amps, and it's a very, very good thing because you don't need 7-string guitars and change guitars. So you can say the Kemper amp just tune that thing 3 notes down, and it does. So that's very practical, and it's I like the feeling of the track, and it's as we already talked about. It's like the very dark and heavy feeling with the melodic lead part in it.
Definitely,
that's one of my favorites.
So, from all your years in music, do you have a funny story to share from the band or your experience in the industry? Just a funny story from the road or a gig or something.
Yes, there's been a lot of funny stories, but the one that I definitely I really don't know if it's really funny, but I was totally angry about that situation because we've been on tour in I think that was 1993 or something. We've made the Take Me Out the Throat album. We've been on tour with Overkill, and the singer was very, very nice, and the other guys were very nice, but the bass player was a little. I don't want to say anything, but the thing was that we don't have any sound check every day because the band wants to play football in the venue, and they play football hours and hours and hours, and we were like, hey, please let us do the sound check. We have to go on stage in half an hour. And they did nothing. They just played football, and we went on stage without a sound check. And then the whole situation was very bad. And then we canceled that tour after 2 weeks.
Oh,
so,
God.
yeah.
But for all the years in music, do you have an angry story? You just shared it. That's funny. So do you have a most memorable show from your career? One that sticks in your mind, whether it's the bill that you played on, or a certain venue that's special to you, or a certain show that's really memorable?
Not a special show. It's a show itself. It was one of my, like the tour was Cancer. That was a British death metal band, and James Murphy played in that band. And that time, and every show we played, and just watched these guys on stage with James Murphy on guitar, and we played before these guys, and we had a very good relationship. This whole time was very, very great, and it was not a special show. It was just all of the shows and all of the situation with these guys.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Well, let's hope we can see more of that this year, and good luck with everything in the future, Rene. Thank you for joining me on the show.
Thank you for having me.